Hello, everybody. How we doing? On a night when an incredible NFL playoff game is going on, we're here in the G. Forbes Elliott Center watching your UNBSJ Seawolves take on the St. Thomas Tommies in a game of some men's volleyball action. This is a classic battle. These two teams don't really like each other, and while I think most of the league would probably tend towards seeing that SJ has been better this year, both of these teams always really play each other close, and there's talent across the board, so it should be a good game here. Let me try and get some rosters out there. So the left sides, oh, nice touch there by Blizzard. Just going to get popped over, but good net control there by Fielch. These teams are battling. Nice roll handled by the setter. Oof. What a set there by number 4. And a great swing by Siefker. We're good. Siefker, one of the better hitters in the league as far as efficiency. One of the better hitting percentages in the league. What's going on here, gentlemen? We're good. Okay. Back now to serve is McClellan. McClellan, one of the more consistent servers in the league, but handled well by STU. Off the hands of Gauthier, but he isn't able to pop that one up. There's a couple of personnel decisions today that are a little bit surprising. I know that John Fraser Monroe for the Seawolves, probably one of the better liberos in the league. I think he leads the league in digs per set. But he's out today with a sickness. So in the game for him, for the Seawolves, is number 4. That's Carlos Pazbrizio. CPB. Nice dig with that. Oh, my God, it got through. Wow, we're scrambling here. Swing outside to Gauthier. He isn't able to handle it coming across his body. That's a bit of a tough swing. As a right-hander, having to let that come across your whole frame to get a swing on it. Gauthier isn't able to handle it there. And an early 2-1 lead here for STU. To round out the lineup for UNBSJ, at middle, we have Fielch and Cam Willis. For your left sides, we have Gauthier and Finn Kearney-Staunton. Your right side, right on cue, right there, is Siefker, and your setter is Liam McClellan, the third-year captain. Back now to serve is Gauthier. He's a first year, but he's having an incredible season. He's what I would call a garbage man. When there's some trouble or you have a ball that's not perfect and you need to give it to someone to take the trash out, he's amazing at it. I think he's first in the league in kills and right up there as far as hitting percentage too. So a real weapon for UNBSJ. Right on cue, gets himself a service ace. You need to have those guys on your team. The guy that, when the going gets tough, you can lean on to be a guy that can get a point when you need it. I actually think there's a couple of guys on UNBSJ that fit that bill, but I think all year Gauthier, probably more than anyone else, has been a winner for them. On the flip side, I don't think that STU has any one killer like you would say maybe Gauthier is, but they have a lot of great players on this squad. I'm surprised that Fizet, number 6, the setter, isn't starting today. And in his place, it looks like we have number 7. That's Tim Juvonen. If someone in the chat knows how to pronounce that name, I would greatly appreciate it. But either way, he's in today, setting. And as far as the options they have hitting, they have Blizzard on the outside as a left side. Their other left side serving now, number 14. That's Austin Hamilton is another great player. And their middles are both very, very effective. In the game now is number 11. That's Mason Brewster. And they also have, I believe it's Jacob Trach, who are some really, really, really effective middles. So it should be a good game. I'm excited to see who. I forgot to mention Romanchuk. Romanchuk plays right side for St. Thomas, and the last time these two teams played, he had an amazing game. So watch for him as well to be one of those people that when the team needs a set, they go to him. He's the one with the headband on, number 9. Couple handling errors in a row there for SJ as STU extends the lead to 3. Now up 6-3. Nice serve from Hamilton, but a good touch there by Pazbrizio. Blizzard tries to sweep it, doesn't get it. Romanchuk just going to kind of roll it over, put some pace on it, actually. Wow, what a play by McClellan. Oh, that is huge. This Seawolves team is such a strong blocking team. It's probably one of the reasons why we're seeing on STU, it's probably one of the reasons why we're seeing Juvenin over Fizet. Fizet, I would say Juvenin probably has 6 or 7 inches on Fizet as far as height. And it's just one of those things, man. An important block can really change the dynamic of a game. And it's something I think that UNBSJ has done amazing all year. I think that Siefker is a great blocker. I think both of their middles are very good blockers, Willis and Filch. I think that they probably have the best blocking setter in the league in McClellan. And Gauthier and Finn Kearney-Staunton on the left side are strong as well. So, you know, not a whole lot of weak links on that block, and we've seen it this year. Consistently being able to control the net and force offenses to go with that second option. Trouble, that's going to go off the roof. So a great start here for Stu. You know, I don't think that it's been, you know, I don't think it's felt like it's been a 5-point difference so far to start this game, but every time there's been a bit of a, you know, a mix-up or a kerfuffle, it feels like Stu's coming out on the right end of it. So good start for them. See if we're going to get out of the way. Wow. How often do you see that? Good job by UNBSJ just to throw a ball up for Kearney-Staunton to be able to get a swing on it. He was so far off the net that he had to get basically on his horse to run to get that ball, and because of it, just jumps off one, but still puts the hammer down and takes the point back for SJ. So Siefker now to serve. Ooh, that one's not going to be good enough. How high is the net? Too high. Too high on that one. Back now to serve is Romanchuk. The Tommies wielding a 9-5 lead at the moment. Some side spin on that one. A couple of funny tosses for the spin serves today. I think Siefker's got a bit of a funny approach as well, and that he kind of rolls the toss into the momentum of the run. But a little bit of side spin it looked like on that one from Romanchuk. Unfortunately, that one's going to hit the tape as well. So back-to-back missed serves, and we're back to SJ. Make that the triple. That's 3 spin serves in a row into the tape. You know, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. It's a high execution type of play. When it works, it's good. But when you miss, things like that happen all the time. Wow. Gauthier picks up his own block. Just going to roll that one over. Nobody out there. McClellan just going to have to send it over. Stu going to run their offense here. Ooh. Cam Willis. Block party. That's disheartening because if you're Stu there, right, you had almost a free ball. It was a perfect ball to your setter. It was slightly a quick transition. You could tell by the middle's positioning that they weren't able to get into their lanes completely. But they ran that little step inside to the power, and I think they expected to get a big hit out of it. And Cam Willis just said, no bueno. Cam Willis chooses to take a little off that one to ensure he gets it in. You know, he almost drops it over and is able to steal one there. Instead, nice dig by Stu. They got a nice back set to their middle. I think that's Trach. And Trach drops one down the line. Almost a nice dig by Willis, but they aren't able to dig it up after that. So the point's going to go to Stu. Nice first point side out by SJ there. Good job by the rookie Filch to push that through the hands. McClellan with the serve. Oof. Oh, whoa! Very interesting choice. Looked like that ball might have been close to the line, but our down judge calls that one in. So point to Stu, now holding a 12-8 lead. That one's long. You know, you saw all those missed spin serves. That's usually the miss you see with a float serve. You know, the float serve is nice in that it's a little unpredictable. You know, sometimes the person that's hitting it doesn't even know where it's going to go, but you can hit the ball basically the same way twice and get two totally different outcomes. And that one just sails on the Tommies and goes long at the back. Slightly bit of a miss hit there maybe by Romanchuk, but enough topspin on it that it'll drop that one into the corner. Take the points back here for Stu. So this whole game, Stu got off to a good lead early, and they've kind of just been going back and forth around this 4-3 point lead. Nice handle there by Paz Barizio. OB, yep, good touch. Great call. Romanchuk looking at the bench. He thought he got him, and he did get him, but goes out of bounds, and that one's going to be chalked up as a tool. Ooh. Nice serve there by Fielch. That one goes off the hands of the libero for the Tommies. That's number 8, Oscar Luke. Good last name. Fielch out the back. Back now to serve. Number 11. That's Mason Brewster, so to the net now is Trach. What a first half by C.J. Stroud for anybody watching the Texans game. He's that dude, isn't he? Wow, great job by Willis. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. No. Darren Doucette not having any of it. Cam Willis trying to plead his case, saying he didn't touch the net. And, you know, from my perspective up here in the booth, I didn't think he did either. But second official, Darren Doucette, calls it, and the point's going to go to the Tommies. This is a nice rotation. Oh. Let's see what happens if it's, yeah. Oh, good effort. Wow. In there. Great job by Romanchuk. Romanchuk making something out of kind of nothing there. And now that we're back to what I was going to say, watch number 12 here. Closest man to you on the screen, that's Siefker. This is a really, really nice rotation if you're a right side. You basically just take one little hop step back and you're already in your lane to hit. So you can really tee off on one. And if they get a good pass, I'd expect to see this one go back. Yep. How's that? And a great block by Willis, too, to cap it off. Really, really good stuff there. I mean, that's good awareness by McClellan to know that rotation there is so awesome for the right side and make sure when he gets that pass to go there. It could also have just been that he likes Siefker, trusts his guy, and he was going back either way. But very, very nice play. Handling that one interesting, possibly going out. Back to Siefker, who puts it into the tape. Whew. So the Tommies possibly dodge a bit of a bullet there. Not sure how close that ball would have been to going in or out. Head coach of the Tommies there. I apologize for not remembering his name. I've only played against him 100 times. Head coach Henry Mallet doing your classic front court, back court switch. So into the game now is Fizet, who will be playing setter. And to the front court. Wow, what a swing. Oh, see, interesting. Very good job by the lines. The line judge had to dive out of the way there, and she did a good job of saying, I didn't get a chance to see it. So we go to the first official who calls it in and then point to the Seawolves. The reason you saw those substitutions, to go back to that by Stu, by the way, is to keep it so that they can have a setter in the backcourt at all times. They're coming down the stretch of this game. They want to make sure that they can maintain their lead, not give away any competitive advantage. So when their setter comes to the front court, instead of having him block and take away one of your front court options as a hitter, they'll sub in a right side for him and sub in the backcourt right side as a setter to keep the setter in the backcourt. You really only do it if you have two setters in your team that you trust, or if you believe that your starting setter is a little bit of a liability on the blocking side. And the way that, to go from Juvenant to Fizet would lead me to believe it's not like a blocking thing as much as, just want to make sure that they're, it's not a no faith in Juvenant's ability as a blocker as much as it's just, head coach Henry Millay believing that they have two really, really talented setters. Yeah, I mean, to some extent, to that point, I'm surprised that it's Juvenon. I think from the games I've been able to call of the Tommies, I think Raf Fizet is an incredible player. You know, a great decision maker, really, really good execution. Like, he's got smooth hands. He's one of the better servers on the team. I think he grinds well. He plays defense. You know, I think I said it already, but probably the biggest thing for me is he's a really, really good decision maker. He's a field general out there. Definitely probably gives something up on the blocking side, and that might be why we're seeing Juvenon. But as it stands, head coach Henry Millay going with the double setter set here down the stretch, so we're getting ourselves a little bit of Fizet time. So back now to serve, Tom Blizzard. Fitting name, as that's probably what I would say is going on outside. Tom Blizzard last year played for the UNBSJ Seawolves. So a bit of a funny little relationship there. Probably a game that has a little bit more meaning for him. Woo! Clean over the top on a set that wasn't even really that much in his wheelhouse. Adam Gauthier with a winner. So now UNBSJ down 5. Willis back to serve, meaning we got Fielch now at the net. Woo! Big swing there by number 14. That's Austin Hamilton. He's able to get that off the hands and take the point back for STU. So STU now extending their lead to 6. Back to serve is Trach. Oof, just tipping it over. Hardwood. Tommies can't get anything on it as Gauthier goes top down on that one. Over top the block. I'd feed him right now. You know, you need some points of UNBSJ. You know, you don't really have a whole lot of room for error. I'd take away some of the. Oh, that's unfortunate. That tip's going to go over the block and fall into the court. Good tip though. Really good, court awareness there by the Tommies. So we're going to get that two-person switch again. Back into the game is number 7. That's Tim Juvenon. And to the net now, number 9, Romanchuk. Gauthier just able to handle it. But a good set and a good save by McClellan to let Siefker do something with it. Siefker, just a high, hard swing into the hands. It squeezes through the block and is going to give the point back to UNBSJ. Back now to serve is Gauthier. A little bit off the net, probably going to be going to power. What a touch by Paz Brizio. And what a job by McClellan to just... Oh, we got a touch call? It doesn't look like there was any complaints from the STU side, so it looks like he probably got that call right. I didn't actually see the touch myself, but apparently that went off the hands for Kearney Staunton, and point going to go to UNBSJ. So now just a 4-point game. Wow! Wow! Really, really good job to find the middle there. Completely unblocked because it's one of those situations where it didn't look like they would be likely running the middle out of it. And I think the middle on SJ, Fielch, was waiting for that next opportunity. That one's going to be tight. Holy. That was a really, really good play by the Tommies. I would like to take a moment to, toot my own horn a little bit and show the, they're stopping play to make sure that Paz Brizio is good. I don't know if it translated, but Paz Brizio took that off the melon. Took that square in the face. This is like almost like it feels like they're doing a funny like concussion test But I think everybody's good. It's surprising that they're giving him an ovation here. I think they're making a bigger deal out of it than it needs to be. But either way, he did wear it in his jibs. And I almost slipped up, since it's a bad word. But great play by the Tommies, who are extending the lead now to 6 and kind of pulling away with this first set. Not an easy situation there for McClellan. He's going to try and set that ball to his back set while also being able to get out of the way for him. And it's not nearly as easy as you think. Henry Mallet doing a sub with a point left. Into the game now is number 12. That's Parker Melnick. Melnick, a good little outside hitter. I'm surprised. I mean, you know, I think he probably played a little bit. I think he played more last year, and we haven't seen as much from him this year, but very, very good player. Long. So a great plus-minus for Melnick, who finishes 1-0 as the Tommies take the first set 25-0. Captain of the Seawolves, Liam McClellan, takes a second there to bring his guys in and have a chat. And then as they're crossing over here, he's taking a moment to, you know, make sure each one has their head up. That's some good captain stuff there by number 1. I would honestly say that I feel like UNBSJ just came out a little flatter. The Tommies had more energy, you could tell, and I think because of that, you know, they were able to capitalize a little bit more and go on a couple more runs when they made plays. I'd like to see UNBSJ probably get a little more out of their middles. I know Cam had one big hit, but I didn't see much. I mean, Fielch had a wipe that I can remember, but I didn't see much from Fielch or from Willis in that first one. Now, running the middle, is a function of your passing game. You can kind of always find a way to set your outside hitters even with bad passes. But if you're not getting good passes, it's really, really hard to get your middles involved. And that could be what we're seeing here. Be interested to see if we see any changes. There's a couple of new faces on the UNBSJ squad on the bench. Some guys that I think before Christmas I hadn't seen. And right on cue, one of them is in the game now. New face alert, number 16, Craig Bartlett. He's played in 4 matches this year, so I guess he was here before Christmas. None of the games that I've called so far has Craig been in the game that I know. But he's going to get some minutes here after head coach Dino Karatsios decides he wants to influx some new energy. So Cam, I believe it's Cam. I hope I'm not messing that up. Karsten, I've been calling him Cam. Anyway, Karsten Fielch is going to take a spell on the bench for this one. And into the game comes number 16, Craig Bartlett. On the Tommy's side, looks like we got business as usual. Juvenile and Seton. We got Hamilton and Blizzard on the outsides. Roman Chuck on the right side. And in the game right now for middle, number 11, Mason Brewster. I believe that we will expect to see Trach coming in when Brewster gets to the backcourt. Serving now is Juvenon. Handled by Paz Brizio. Wow, man. A little bit of a lower set. I don't think that was probably at the very top of where Gauthier would like to get it, but, you know, completely squeaks through the block there. From my position, it looked like they had a relatively well set up block, but obviously they weren't closed as much as I had thought, as that one goes untouched, and a nice winner from Gauthier. Hamilton getting low to get that one. Just going to have to volley it over. Good job by Paz Brizio controlling the court there. If they win this, I want to we see. Okay, so hold on. Nice touch by Paz Brizio. Hardwood, he's a winner. You need a point? Go to the boy. Gauthier, another one. I missed this earlier, but in the game now at the net, not only is Bartlett in the game, but we also have a new right side in the game. Number 9. That's Jacob Huisman. If somebody knows, let me know in the chat if I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's going to be Huisman for the rest of the day. At least I'll be consistent. So Huisman in the game, giving Siefker a spell on the bench, I believe. Or no, Siefker looks like he's been moved to power. So we're actually seeing Finn Kearney Staunton on the bench. Bartlett. His first action turns into points. And the boys give him a little bit of a celebration. Captain going in there and giving him a little what's up. Good for him. Backing out of serve is Gauthier. That one just going to get popped. Oh, good. Oh. Blizzard with a little, coaching point for Blizzard. I think he needs to go back and look at where his elbow was on that one. He was hitting that about face level, and I'd like to even just watch him drop his shoulders and make sure that he's contacting that above his head. Get a little bit more topspin on it. I think you can contact it a little bit more clean. Just kind of tried to poke that one over and finds the tape, and the point's going to go to the Seawolves. Missed serve there for Gauthier. He's going to bring it to 4-2, but a good start so far for the Seawolves. If it wasn't for that missed serve, it would be 4-1 on some pretty solid volleyball. But as it stands, 4-2. Serving now, number 11. That is Mason Brewster. Nice pass from Gauthier. What a dig. This one's just going to have to come over. Too much silliness for me to kind of recount. Out. That's out, yeah. What's it called? Whoa. What? Can you tell me what the call was? You don't see that a whole lot. The head ref overrules her down ref as far as the call from a place in the court that she's probably the farthest from. That's surprising, but she could have maybe got some signal from Dan. Oh, what a block, but it's not good enough. Unfortunately, it's going to go out. I apologize. She's probably got some insight from Darren Doucette. I don't know if the fans at home know this, but the first and second official, the official at the top of the stand that you see, and then the other official that's standing in front of the scoreboard, have a little microphone, and they can communicate. You used to see them stopping the play and walking over to communicate with each other, and now they can do so just staying home. That ball is going to go into the net. Breaking the tie as the Seawolves now serve, up 5-4. Bartlett serving. Serve handled well by the Tommies. Oof. Romanchuk, winner. Romanchuk now back to serve. Little side spin on that one. Not the outcome he was looking for. Hamilton giving his boy a little bit of a, it's all good, don't worry about it. Pick 6 with the Texans. For those of you that aren't watching the game, or if for some reason you're watching ACAA volleyball instead, Joe Flacco, pick 6. In there. Ace. Ace for the new blood. That's Jacob Huseman. Ooh. Nice spin serve. Man. Oh, whoa. See, now I don't know if I agree with that either. That looked about as in as it can get. I think some of the Tommies agreed. It's a really, really nice connection right now between Juvenin and Romanchuk. Romanchuk is so tall, and I was going to say because of it, his approach and his timing is probably really different than a lot of the powers in the league. And Juvenin does such a good job of actually running a quicker tempo set to him to let him get in that wheelhouse a little bit quicker because he doesn't need that time, to go through the air. He's already right there above the tape where he needs to be because of his height. I think they're doing a good job of, the setter Juvenin is doing a good job of, not setting Romanchuk maybe the same way that he would set a Hamilton or a Blizzard. Missed serve there by the Seawolves. So back now to serve is Blizzard for the Tommies. That's a sailor. That's a sailor. Nice serve. Ooh. Wow, Goche. It looks so effortless. I was going to say, it's actually stark the difference you'll see in the approach and the swing and all that timing for someone like Hamilton who's so bounding and explosive and can jump so high versus a Romanchuk. It looks like a completely different thing. Even though, they're both totally, they're both great attackers, and despite the fact that it's different tempo, they both can definitely get the job done. That's such a good set by Juvenon, but a great block. Romanchuk there isn't able to put it in. And I think we're going to see some new blood. Blizzard. Blizzard gets the pull. Romanchuk puts it in the net, and Blizzard gets yanked for it. It could be that this was kind of a battle that head coach Henry Millay was expecting to kind of jump back and forth between all day today. Maybe he thinks that they're pretty close in the depth chart and wants to get some different looks. Either way, Blizzard out, and into the game comes number 12. Damn. Hardwood. Instant transmission from hand to ground. Great swing there. Hamilton, man. Anyway, as I was saying, into the game is Parker Melnick for Blizzard. Nice swing by Trach, but a good push there by McClellan. Goche, man. Oh, that's got to go over. Oh, that was some funny stuff. There might have been technically some feet on the line. I don't know what. It's hard to say not knowing. Bit of an ugly point. Bit of an ugly point for sure. But Sea Wolves take it. And Coach Henry Millay is going to call a timeout there, yeah. I don't think there's been a very flashy game from either side, but UNBSJ has kind of just quietly pulled ahead by 6 here. Through 20 points, UNBSJ is up 6. So head coach Henry Millay going to call a timeout, take a moment to talk to his guys, rally the troops. See if they see anything out there that maybe he doesn't see, or if, maybe there's something he does see that he wants to make sure that they're across, so the next time they go out, they're prepared. But at the very least, I would imagine this is just a momentum thing. A good amount of the last few points have kind of gotten away from you. It hasn't been, like I said, that you've been dominated, but just, some messy points have been going the way of SJ, and I think head coach Millay just wanted to give it a second, take them off, let them have a breath, come back a little bit more composed, and try and stop the bleeding here. Back now to serve, Cameron Willis. Cam Willis with the little spinner. Cam Willis with a shot that goes out the back. I think he would probably, I'm not sure that he would argue either. He's probably the least consistent server in UNBSJ. In the first set, you saw him kind of mixing a changeup, like a little one. He didn't hit it. He probably hit it like 60% and just popped it over. Surprised we haven't seen him utilize that. Oh, what a touch. I disagree. Ball's allowed to have spin. The ball is allowed to have spin. And I thought that was a clean contact. But what do I know, right? First official Sherry Campbell says, no bueno. So, back to serve, number 7, Juvenon. He's been having himself a nice game. Through Siefer's hands. Nice use there. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Is it like, what is it about the way that he hits the ball that just makes this other team completely lose track of it? From below his shoulder, from 3 feet below the net, Goche just taps one over and finds Hardwood. Effortless there by Romanchuk. Nice high hard swing right in the hands, squeaks through. And that's volleyball. Not much you can do about that if you're playing defense. Oh. Melnick looking at himself. I feel like he thought there was a chance that was his ball to get. I think probably you can make an argument there that Luke maybe should have got there, but as it stands, Melnick going to come out of that game. Blizzard back into the game for the serve receive as Gauthier goes back to serve for SJ. We're going to... Oh, yeah, so in warm-up, we saw a lot of this from, I don't want to say a lot of it, but I think in warm-up, you know, Brewster for the Tommies was one of the better hitters in warm-up, and that, you know, good pass in rhythm, he was dunking them. There, unfortunately, it's a little bit out to the left, but I think if they can start to pass a little bit more consistently and utilize Brewster here, I think he can be a really good option for this offense. As it stands, they go back to Romanchuk, who pounds one down there. Past Brizio, protecting himself again. He's been under fire today. Even Romanchuk gave him a little look through the net and said, sorry about that. Tell you what, when I was playing, I wouldn't have done that. I would have said, yep, wear that one. So Romanchuk, a better man than I. Brewster sends that one long. It's going to extend the lead for the Seawolves, 17-11. Nice serve. Trouble in paradise here. Oh, Romanchuk. Touch, but handled well by the Tommies. Interesting choice. It's up. Gauthier chases it. This is some volleyball, folks. Oh, wow. Really well done by St. Thomas. Just good execution and decision-making pretty much at every point there. We're going to get our classic double setter switch here as Fizet comes in to serve, and we got some new blood now for the Tommies. Into the game is number 2, Doug. Kevin Douglas in on the right side. Tall drink of water. Fizet, fresh off the bench, isn't going to be able to put that one in. It's unfortunate. He's one of the better servers in the game when he's hot. But serving cold isn't easy, especially with a spin serve like that, and that one's going to go long. Serving now for your Seawolves, number 9, Jacob Huseman, who's had a nice first set here today. Ooh. Something really, really nice about the way Fizet plays the game. Also very interesting that rotation, you see their middle, Trach, hitting on the outside. That's something that, you know, any standard coach wouldn't be part of their rotation if you were teaching the fundamentals of the game, but it's something that you can do if you trust your middle to have that ability and you kind of want to take away some of the travel distance for your hitters on a play. Hamilton tries to go with the changeup there, but just a little too short. Misread the putt. So back now to service Siefker. Siefker, another amazing rookie. I think he's had a bit of a quiet game by his standards for UNBSJ. He's one of the more efficient hitters in the league. But him and Gauthier as first-year players gives this program a lot of really, really nice promise for years. Tommies go high off the hands there. Pops off the block and is going to find that back 3 or 4 feet of the court, the most valuable space on the volleyball court, if you ask me. If you can consistently drop your shots there, you know, it's almost impossible to play defense around it. Gauthier, what do you expect? The guy's a winner. Back now to serve is Cam Willis, except skirt. Into the game comes Tucker. Willis, you know, I think head coach Karatsios has seen a couple of too many misses today. This is a pretty typical switch that they do. I think they feel pretty good about the consistency of Tucker's serving. Just a little pop float serve from him, but a real nice one. And like I said, very consistent. I couldn't be more sorry to Ethan Tucker and his family for what I just did there. We call that a commentator's curse. And pretty much as soon as he tossed the ball, I knew he was going to miss it. And it's my fault. Another pick 6 for Joe Flacco. Like Team Rocket from Pokemon, that trouble doubled quickly. Back now to serve. Whoa, I never even noticed that Juvenin was wearing those socks. Nice kit. Dude. It's a really nice effort from Juvenin. I think there's a world where he could have popped it up, but he did a great job being in position, and he had to try and like take a stab at it with a closed fist over the head, falling backwards. He isn't able to get it there, but it's a good effort. But man, what more can you say about Gauthier today? Luke, ooh. Juvenin has some nice hands, man. He's a gamer, he really is. It's funny how different, I was saying earlier, the styles are. Hamilton is such a bounding athlete. Everything he does is explosive, and he takes these big, long approaches and this big wind-up, whereas Romanchuk, you know, he's, I wouldn't say stiffer, but maybe a little bit shorter in his movements and a little bit more maybe like efficient or economic with his movements. But both great at getting the job done. Unfortunately, that last tip for Romanchuk isn't able to make it work, and then a service ace as the Tommies pull away with this one. I mean, sorry, the SJ pulls away with this one, and it's looking like we're going to end up with a 1-1 game here. I don't want to jinx anything, but you know, for the Tommies to come back, they'd have to play pretty spotless volleyball here and do it for about 12 points in a row. So, or just 10, but still, it'll be an uphill battle. So funny. What a dig. Fortunately, it's not. Oh, whoa! I mean, it doesn't. I'm not sure it does matter. Like I said, I think this game's probably going to find its way to a close with the Seawolves win anyway. This is the second time that which looked like a pretty obvious winning shot has been called a net touch by the second official, Darren Doucette. So I think, even if Darren Doucette's been right both times, I think it's caught UNBSJ surprise both times. So Captain Liam McClellan's just going to take a moment to talk to the ref to say, hey, like, is there anything we're doing wrong, or is there anything particularly like why you think those are being called in those moments? He probably knows the answer. He just wants to kind of basically let the refs know, hey, we don't want this going on anymore. Bit of a lucky shot there. Bounces off the tape and trickles back, but sometimes better be lucky than good. As UNBSJ takes back the point. And now just one away from starting this 1-1. Gauthier now to serve. Oof, good job there by number 3. Who is that? Alex Fredrickson. Good job by him to let that go free. Surprised that we saw him there as opposed to Luke. I've been seeing number 8, Luke, pretty much all day, but Fredrickson let that one go. Now a 6-point game. Seifer with a really good swing on that. But Blizzard with a big winner off the hands, and it's just a 5-point game. It's still probably over, but hey, we're right there. A point here would go a long way. Nice pass by Paz Brizio. Oh, roofed. I could see a timeout coming here. The game's getting closer than it needs to, and it's not like it was done on a missed serve or a hand off the block. That last one was a big play. And you can start to feel some momentum going the way of the Tommies here. Head coach Dino Corazio is going to let these Seawolves play it out. Wow. What a play. And let me tell you why that play is crazy to me. The last point, almost the exact same pass, we saw McClellan go outside to Seifer, and he gets blocked. And I remember thinking on that rep, you probably should have gone middle there. They haven't run a whole lot of middle. You want to make sure the defense stays disciplined. And it's a good pass. Like, that's when you can open up the option of running your middle. He goes to Seifer gets blocked, and the same pass comes through. And when it goes up to McClellan, I'm thinking to myself, okay, now we're definitely going middle. You probably should have gone middle last time. You went power, you got blocked. Now we're definitely going middle. McClellan, to his credit, says, hey, I'm going back to my guy here. I like my matchup, and we're 1 point away. I'm going to someone I trust. He goes back to Seifer there, and Seifer with a great winner over the hands into that back court, that back 3 feet of the court that we talked about as a winning area. drops that one in the backcourt, takes the point, and takes the game. As the Seawolves now even it up 1-1. I know you probably were all thinking, yeah, we wanted this to be a 3-0 one way or another so that we can all just go watch the amazing football that's going on. No way, Jose. Tuck in. We got some volleyball ahead. All right, so I would imagine that we're probably seeing the same lineup from your Seawolves. Listen, if it ain't broke, right? So we're getting Huseman again. We're getting Bartlett again. As far as the Tommies, they're going to start with number 2 out there. That's Kevin Douglas. He's going to start in the game, I believe, at the middle position. He's going to start the game at the middle position as we see Mason Brewster take a seat on the bench for this third set. So, back down to serve. Liam McClellan, consistent little float server. Slightly tough pass, but they're going to get another chance at this. Long. Just a little long there from Hamilton. Nice serve from McClellan again. Woo! Hamilton having some trouble out there. Great block from Huseman, who is calm as a cucumber, cool as a cucumber on that one. I would be fired up. But as it stands, he's letting his team get fired up for him. Huseman, great play. 2-0 to start the game here. This is some broken record type stuff. It's a great set and a great job by the Tommies to weather the storm there. All 3 of those serves from McClellan went to Alex Fredrickson. The first 2 times they went outside to Hamilton and they weren't able to get the point. That time, Juvenon decides to go to the C-ball, that backcourt right side set to Romanchuk, who puts it away. Unfortunately, Juvenon puts that one into the net, and the point goes back to the Seawolves. So, back now to serve is Gauthier. To the net is Siefker. At the net now we have Siefker, Bartlett, and Huseman. That's a young front line. I would imagine that McClellan, his guy here, will probably be Siefker if they get a chance to run their offense. Unfortunately, doesn't matter, as that one's going to go long out the back from Gauthier and give the point back to the Tommies. Nice job. Man, these, unfortunate. Fortunate they aren't able to get that one because I think it was unblocked, and I think that Huseman, I think that was slightly in his wheelhouse. I think that was one of the ones. Unfortunately, that goes long. But as I was saying, that's tight. Just popped up by the, wow. Wow, that's a volleyball thing, man. A really, really good job by Juvenon to step in there and have that connection with his middle, who's, cold off the bench there. Douglas, unfortunately, I shouldn't say unfortunately, but a great play by the Seawolves to put that back and to take the point. I've been, the last 3 or 4 points, I've been trying to get it out, but Pazabrizio is playing great, and I've said the last couple times I've called these games that I've been really, really impressed by John Fraser Monroe as well. So the Seawolves have a lot of options at that libero position, which is not an easy thing to do. It's a pretty, you have to be a special kind of beast to be a really, really great libero. You have to want to do all the hapless tasks, the thing that don't get a whole lot of glory, but you take pride in it. And the more you play volleyball, the more you realize, man, a great libero is one of the bigger spark plugs for a team that you can have. What a dig. Great job by Gauthier there. Gauthier, it'd be really easy for him to maybe be a little bit more lackadaisical on defense, or you know, maybe not do some of the little things great, considering he's so good at some of the more important aspects of the game. But, you know, he's right in there defending. He's a great serve receiver when he gets the chance. I feel like he plays great defense, too. Really been impressed by him. Nice serves there. Oh, you got to call that. Are you kidding me? What? Okay. That's okay. I'll tell you what happened there. So, yeah. So here's what happened. First official Sherry Campbell made a very, very bad call. There was a double touch. She knows it, and she didn't call it. And then when the ball was coming across the net, UNBSJ jumped up and touched the ball, and it goes out of bounds. So if she's not calling that double call, this point has to go to STU. And then as it stands, she says that for whatever reason, that kerfuffle at the net is somehow the Tommy's touch, calls it the UNBSJ point, probably because she realized they already won it on the double touch, and just ignores the fact that the Sea was the one that hit that out of bounds. And that's funny. I mean, if you're the Tommies, you can see it. You know, everybody in the Tommies right now doing the ball don't lie, and I would get it if I were them. If she's not going to call that double touch, which it was, but if she doesn't, the Tommies won that point. So Bartlett puts that one 35 feet out the back. Point goes back to the Tommies, and the Tommies now to serve. 4-2. Serving now is Kay Douglas. Pass Brizio, man. What a block, but Coach Hay again. Coach Hay again. Like, to be that valuable on the defensive side while being far and away the best player on the offensive side it's just really impressive for a first-year player. And I should say, you know, great job by Seifker to be able to get a nice high hard swing on that cross court, avoid the block, and put that back in the court. Cam Willis with a really good touch. He does a good job of getting in front of these middles in a phone booth. It's not nearly as easy as some of these blockers on UNBSJ are making it look. It's pretty easy for a talented middle to go around the other middle if they have some options. But you know, that one doesn't drop in. But Willis is doing a great job of putting himself in a phone booth with that other middle. Yep, good call. That was in. Back now to serve is Romanchuk. See if we get that side spin on the toss. Yeah, that's a funny one, man. Every time I've said that, he's missed it. So maybe I should just stop doing that. I'm not trying to jinx anybody here. I just want the best volleyball we can get. Seifker now back to serve, meaning Gauthier to the front court for your Seals. What a serve, man. Oh, good job by Juvenin. You know, you can actually run under the net and pop that back through the net to give your team a point. Unfortunately, he's not able to get it there. As Seifker gets himself a technical ace. I think, I guess it was touched a second time, but even then, I guess, you know, when I was growing up, an ace was nobody touched it. And now, that is considered an ace. If it's only touched once, it's an ace. So that's an ace. In what was only the most obvious timeout call ever coming, Henry Mallet going to take a moment now. In what was, you know, just a 3-point lead extends to what was a 2-point lead now extends to a 5-point lead after a couple of really, really great serves by Seifker. I want to take a moment to say credit to Melnick. Parker Melnick into the game, and he knew for a fact he wasn't going to be able to get a touch on that ball. But in good, you know, volleyball form, if a ball's hitting the ground, we want to see a body hitting the ground. So Melnick gave me a little dutiful slide here in front of the commentating booth, and I appreciate that effort. That's a good volleyball player right there. All right, so head coach Henry Mallet doesn't even take part in that huddle, which usually to me means that, you know, that's not a timeout to try and impart any wisdom or you know, insight to his team as much as he wants his team to take a breath. One of the assistant captains there, Christian Christie, took the moment to talk to the team. In his past, he was a great player for this Tommy's team. He's been in this rivalry himself, so he probably took a moment to say, you know, what he sees out there and what he thinks he needs to see from his team here to get back into it. 5-point lead's definitely a lead. Definitely a bigger lead than some as the game goes, but you're still far away from the end of this game. Rally off a couple good points and you'll be right back in it if you're the Tommies. But as I say that, a really, really great play from UNBSJ to extend this lead to 7. We very, very rarely see Liam McClellan tip. He's more of a facilitator, but I think that's due to the fact that the less you tip or the less the other team expects you to tip, the more valuable it is. So there, catches everybody flat-footed and steals a point for the Seawolves. That was amazing, man. There's sometimes in volleyball when the pass happens and then you see the flow of where everyone is on the other side of the court and you see the ball leave the setter's hands, and I don't even need to see the hit. I know it's going to be a winner. That was right in the wheelhouse for Romanchuk, who was already taken off for his hit. I think everybody knew they were on the same page there. And as soon as that ball was set, I went, oh, man, Romanchuk's going cross-court hammer with this. You see it a lot with Gauthier, too. I'll kind of try and point them out when I see it. Those moments when the set happens and you can see from the defense in the block that you're like, oh, this one's already over. Blizzard now back to serve, only down 4. Oof, wow. Effort from McClellan to try and grab that pass that went off the hands of, I believe it was Siefker. I don't want to hang anybody out if it wasn't Siefker. But, good effort from McClellan there for off of a tough pass. But unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. As the Tommies now, just down 3. Good pass by Siefker. Good push. It's up. This one's just going to go over. Romanchuk out. Ooh. You can go. Yeah, you can. Oh, whoa. Interesting choice. Cam Willis, there was a lot of stuff he wasn't. I think there was a moment he wanted to swing on it, and then he thought after that second touch, does he maybe have to go over with it? Last moment, I think he decided, okay, I'm going to try and set this, but I don't think that there was the same thought process from Gauthier. He wasn't exactly ready for it. Nice push. Ooh. And that one long out the back. Yeah, good call by the ref there. I think SJ was looking for a touch, but I don't think I saw it. And after coming out of that last timeout from head coach Henry Mallet, after coming out and losing that first point to go down 7, the Tommies rattle off 6 straight and bring this game to a 1-point game. So head coach of the Seawolves, Dino Carazio, is going to call a timeout and take a moment to talk to his team. Unlike Henry Mallet, the last timeout, who sat it out, head coach Carazio is right in the middle of the huddle talking to the guys that are on the court right now. Probably something he wants them to know about their current rotation. I would say that to some extent, Blizzard serving for the Tommies has kind of picked on Siefker as a serve receiver. I don't think that the Seawolves have really been able to run their offense first tempo the last couple of points. So they could be talking about maybe giving a little bit more floor space to Paz Brizio and to Gauthier here on the serve receive, though we'll see. Oh, really good job by Parker Melnick there to get involved on that set. It can be sometimes easy as the left side in that position to stay outward at the pin and kind of consider the right side headed on the other team your responsibility instead of the setter. Melnick there instead, follows the setter to the point where he's setting, and when McClellan turns the tip, he's right there for the block. What a dig from Blizzard! Oh, a great pass, and what it looked like, the Seawolves are going to be able to run their offense. McClellan a little bit too low there for Willis. Willis almost before he hit the ball, he's turning around telling him to bring that set up, as well as puts it into the tape. And now the Tommies, after being down 7 early, up 1. Oh, you know what? I've lived that moment from Gauthier a million times. I think he thought he was going to go hardwood on that one. I think he was over the block, and I think he started to get those big eyes and try and swing hard on it. Instead, he swings a little too early And I know for a fact he's jammed his finger on that ball. You could hear it. You hear that jammed finger sound. It's because you swang a little early and you hit yourself on the bottom straight into the ball as opposed to your flat palm hitting the ball. And it's a stinger, man. Whew. And Tom Blizzard hitting his bench with the "Are you not entertained?" Blizzard probably feels good about that. Like I said, he played for this team last year. So rattling off 7 or 8 serves in a row to go from being down 7 to up 2, up 3, probably feels pretty good from him. I will say, too, that, you know, he was part of a rotation at Power last year, and I think he probably wasn't exactly the happiest with his play time. You know, I don't want to read into it too much or create storylines that don't exist. But as it stands, you know, I think he's happy with the, you know, decision he's made to switch to that Tommy's team. And, you know, in the moment right now, they're playing good. It must feel good for him. At the net, we got Juvenon, Melnick, and Trach. Trach got the crazy haircut. I like it. It's the curly mullet. Looks like Weird Al. So Blizzard now back to serve. At the net for your Seawolves, we got McClellan, we got Willis, and we got Gauthier. If we get a good pass here, I would imagine that we're probably going to try and go to Gauthier here. Weather the storm. Yeah, we'll go Gauthier. I mean, that's why I'm up here, right? That's why I'm in the booth. That's why I'm making millions. Seen it a million times. When you're in that situation, you need a point. You go to the guy that took you to the dance. Gauthier's been their guy all game, and a big winner there off the hands to side out and give some momentum back here. Oof, close one. I'm surprised, honestly, in a game this close, with the misses that Willis has already had, and with the fact that head coach Karatsios had already subbed him out for a serving sub. I'm surprised that, 1, we didn't see that kind of second tempo serve that we saw from him earlier. And 2, I'm surprised they didn't just sub him out. Trach with a nice float down the line there. Pasbrizio able to get a pop on it, but just kind of puts it straight up. Steve Kerr, you know, maybe he got a pancake on it, but not really much the Seawolves there could do. As they extend the lead to 4. This one's going to have to go high and outside. Double on that, eh? I mean, 1, it probably was a double. But when you're in the game, what you want more from your refs is consistency than always making the right call. I mean, I suppose that's not exactly true, but you definitely want consistency from your refs. And if they were going to let them play a little earlier with double touches, it's interesting to see it called there. You know, you'll get a feel for some refs the more you play about like what they'll allow and what they don't allow, and it can make it easier to play around their officiating, if that makes sense. But if they're a little bit inconsistent on how they call things, it can make it really tough as a player. Oh, it's in. Oh, I'll tell you what. The Tommies called that out, and they watched it in, and that's you know, one of those cardinal sins in volleyball. And but it's one of those things that's really tough about a float serve. I'm sitting up here in the booth, and I could told you for certain that ball was going out, and then all of a sudden it just doesn't. In there. Ooh, Juvenon fired up about it. Who knew he had that in his bag? But yeah, like I was saying, that float serve, I mean, the float serve, the unpredictability of it is why at the professional level and the Olympic level, when these guys can hit a serve as fast as you've ever seen a ball get hit, you still see so much float serving. Gauthier with an overbump. Melnick with a dunk. That's a good play. That's a good play by Melnick there. I think a lot of outside hitters can get maybe too aggressive. Get those big eyes, want to swing on that one. Melnick goes up with 2 hands, just redirects into the court where, you know, the Seawolves are weak, and takes the point. An all right pass there by Gauthier, but a great, honestly a great push by McClellan. That's a double, man. Like that's what's annoying. Is you know, I think functionally that was no different than the doubles that have been called earlier. It's a second touch. I mean, you're looking for it in that situation. But Sherry Campbell decides to let them play, and the point goes to the Tommies. So Tommies now, having been down 7 to be up 6 is something I've almost never seen in a volleyball game. I mean, that's, yeah. And it's just kind of getting away from the Seawolves on this one. A miscommunication there from Huseman and the libero Paz Brizio. I think Paz Brizio was expecting to try and pop that out to Huseman so he could go get a swing on it, which I think is probably the right decision. But instead, they both kind of go for it. They get that double touch, and now it's gonna have to go over. Doubler. Oh shoot. Okay. That's an amazing swing. Like, that is almost an unstoppable play. Okay. Roman Chuck feeling himself a little bit. I'm not going to tell the fans at home what celebration I think he was trying to do. But he's having fun out there, and as he should be. That was a great rep. Juvenin gonna go into the net there. Back now to serve is Gauthier. Oh. And it just slightly going from bad to worse here for the Seawolves. I mean, for them to be up 7 at one point to now being down likely 9 to lose this game is credit to the Tommies. Weather the storm, you know what I mean? Good push. Siefker with a crazy winner. I almost just said a bad word here on the stream. Siefker with a bomb squad. Instant hardwood. Bartlett now back to serve. In what is feeling like a slightly lost cause. But it starts by 1. Just got to get your serve in. Yeah, I think in a moment like that for the Seawolves, maybe even that was too much to ask. A set that was all Tommies about halfway through. I think, you know, there was I would say that the Tommies probably went down the stretch there, probably went 22 points to like 8 for the Seawolves. So really, really strong finish there by the Tommies, who take a 2-1 lead to enter here into the 4th. Like I said, going into this game, I think that the Seawolves are higher on the standings, although I know they dropped back-to-back games against Holland a couple of weekends ago, was probably closing it up. The last time these two teams play, as far as I'm aware, was in this gym, I believe in November, and the Seawolves were the winner. So this could be really good for the Tommies if they can get another into the win column here. All right, heading here into the 4th. Assistant coach Jacob McLean giving the boys a rundown here. I think one of the boys on the UNBSJ sideline was a little bit frustrated with their play or lack thereof in the last set, and I think Jacob McLean had to kind of go and calm them down. But that's a mark of a good assistant coach, you know, being aware of where his team's at and making sure that everyone knows what the. I just got a bit of a head shake from Jacob McLean, which I believe is like in reference to what I was kind of talking about. I think there was some disappointment about one of the players getting pulled in the last set, and I think that maybe rattled some cages a little bit. But that's, that's the nature of sports. You care. You're in there and you're trying. You commit a lot of time to this, to getting better with your guys. And if sometimes you go out and you're falling short or things are feeling flat or, you feel like maybe you're not playing up to your standards or not being given the opportunity you think you deserve, it can get frustrating. Got a bunch of young men running around playing sports. Sometimes tempers will flare. Tratch with a little pop serve over. Bang. It's a great job. You usually see, from a tempo point of view, you usually see the ball hit a lot quick after that middle set. But Tratch really high up in the air there. Goes up and gets it. Hits a nice one. Just clean over top of the block. Nothing too high or hard. Drops it in that back, like we said. 2 meters. That is just so valuable. Great job by the Tommies there, man. Great job by Juvenin, who's feeling himself. I said coming into this game that I was pretty surprised that it wasn't Fizet starting. Just being that I'm a big fan of the game that Fizet has and the games I've seen him play. But, credit to head coach Henry Millet. I thought this was a funny decision to not go with Fizet, but I've been very, very impressed by the game that Juvenin has. This has to go over. Good job by Clellan. You could call a double on that even. They're calling hands? Yeah, it looks like Huseman agrees. Romanchuk, another one, man. He's a winner for them. I like the headband swag. I never rocked it myself, but respect. Back to serve now is Juvenin. He got those. He got the red-blue striped socks with the yellow and black shoes. He's gonna need some. One of his buddies needs to get his style a little bit. He's too good to be wearing such funny colors on his feet. Melnick tries to go with the push, but sent back by the Seawolves. A couple of little tips now have been sent back. Like I said, the Seawolves do a really good job of controlling the net. Third time, not the charm there. Melnick takes a little bit of a hop off the net and just tries to get a high, hard swing on that one, unfortunately. Cuts it a little too much. It's going to skate out the side and give the point to your UNBSJ Seawolves. So 2-2. Gauthier back to serve. Wow, man, are you kidding me? Romanchuk's shaking his head to his team. I think it was a really good set, and I bet you that Romanchuk would tell you that he had a lot of really good opportunity with that, too. That is a classic case of Romanchuk thinking he was going to send that to Pound Town, and I think he baked the cookies a little too long. He held on a little bit, too. I think he tried to swing a little bit too hard, took his time in the air there, and because of it, just got a little bit too close to the tape when it came time to hit, and a great block there by Huseman. Melnick, a real nice high, hard swing on the outside there. Squeaks it past the block and drives it into the defense. And the Wolves aren't able to dig it up. So some good back and forth play here to start the fourth. Melnick to serve. That's a serve, man. I try my best to not emote too much, but I am human, and that was a funny thing. Some miscommunication there by the Tommies as they don't play that ball first as it comes over the net, and then a little bit of a stab at it, and I think Blizzard catch that one off the nose. Good job by Melnick to get up in the air there, trace the ball, and let it go once he realized it was a little too long. Bartlett puts that one out the back and is going to take a spell on the bench. For those that don't know, the middles basically don't play defense on any really organized volleyball team. The person you see in the back row, the libero, he gets a free substitution every time he comes onto the court. They don't need to go to the ref and tell someone that someone's coming on. They just get to come in and take off someone from the court. They're only allowed to play backcourt, which is why when the middles you see get to the backcourt, they just go and sit on the bench. But after you serve, you'll always see those middles take their seat on the bench, and Paz Brizio will come in. Nice touch by Paz Brizio. Siefker drives that one into the block. That's a big block, man. Tratch and Romanchuk are there. Unfortunately, they aren't able to push it back as Siefker drives it through the arms, squeaks it into that space between their chests and the net and is able to take the point. Huseman now back to serve. Huseman with almost a down ball of a spin serve. Wow. But Melnick with a good pass to give them a chance to run their offense, and Romanchuk with some chin music drives that one down. So Romanchuk now back to serve. Oh, that was close. I think that was going out, to be honest. You know what's funny is before Romanchuk served, I thought about making mention of the side spin on the toss again. But the last 3 or 4 times I'd done it, he missed. Maybe I can't even think about it. Siefer now to serve, spin server of his own. Wow, that's a great serve. Yeah, and that's a tough one. Blizzard, you know, credit to Blizzard to do the pass and then to do his best job to kind of become an option as well. But he was basically running to get to that ball. You need to see Juvenon put that a little higher so he has some time to get into his lane and go and catch it at a high, hard point. Unfortunately, he basically just runs. Instead of jumping up, he jumps into that one, never gets high enough and gets blocked. That one's just got to go over. Good job by Gauthier to get a swing on it. And a net touch there. Nice serve, but not in. It's funny to say nice serve, but not in. But it was. The execution was good. Nice, high, hard-driven ball. Just squeaks out the left. Back down to serve is Blizzard. At the net, we had that funny rotation where they let, I was going to say where they let Willis hit right side, but because, oh, that's a lift. Yeah. 4. Huh. Back now to serve is Willis. Willis, no knee pads. The new kits from the UNBSJ Seals got new jerseys this year, and they're smooth, man. They look good. Willis makes a serve. You love to say that. Romanchuk with a bit of a bouncer, but that one's. It's funny how, you know, when you're sitting at home, you could say that pops off the net and drops right in the middle of the court. It should be something that defensively shouldn't be too tough to get. But the way you have to set yourself up and react to a first tempo hit, as soon as he hits that ball, you know, these the defenders are sitting in their spot and just waiting for something high, hard, and driven to come. They're sitting on their heels to some extent. When it bounces off the tape like that and just trickles over, they're almost stuck in the mud. There's really not much they can do. And as much as, you know, I don't think that Romanchuk would ever tell you that's what he meant to do, that's why that can be such a successful swing, the one that just trickles over the tape. Wow. Really good job by the Tommies, honestly, as far from a coordination point. You know, it was a very quick pass, and I think that Juvenon and Melnick did a good job communicating. They wanted to run a second tempo ball, not that first tempo set they usually see to the outside. So they run it, but another great block by the Wolves. Wow, man. Bartlett is just getting good wood on everything. A timely tip from Melnick, and I think that was probably a good choice at that time, just in how they were scrambling at the net. Unfortunately, he tips it out the left side, and a good idea ends up on bad execution. And the Seawolves extend their lead to 4. Ooh, good eye there at the last second. Fredrickson follows that one to the line and lets it go. That's kind of how you want to teach it. As a volleyball player, you never want to wish a ball out of bounds. And if it's going to go out, you want it to be because, you know, you've taken yourself to the line and know just from your court awareness that anything else left, anything else going left has to be out. Good job there by Seawolves to rally the storm on that one. Side out, as those in the game call it. A side out, if you ever hear me say that again, for those that want to know, a side out is, you know, you lost the point, but you were able to take the serve on the next one, pass it up, and get it back and give yourself a chance to serve again. That's unfortunate. You know, Kieran Staunton comes in for Gauthier in the backcourt as a serving sub. Unfortunately, he's going to miss that one. Gauthier, I'm not sure why he's taking a spell on the bench here. Maybe head coach Karatsios thinks that he gets a better defender from Kieran Staunton in the backcourt, which Kieran Staunton is certainly a very, very good defender. Or maybe he thought he was getting a better server out of Kieran Staunton, which I think when he's serving well, Kieran Staunton's probably the best server on the Seawolves. But as it stands, Gautier's going to get himself a spell on the bench as Kieran Staunton comes in, and Melnick goes for his second serve. This serve is hard, man. Melnick hits this hard. The last one, it was one of those, I feel like if you were the Seawolves, you felt good just for getting a piece on it. That's how well I thought he hit it. Unfortunately, every time I try and say something about someone's serve, they miss it. So, Melnick puts that one out the back. Bartlett now back to serve, nursing a 3-point lead for the Seawolves. Bartlett takes a deep breath before popping over a float. Woo! Good strong hands there by Melnick. Popping that up to the setter, and a good job by Juvenin to realize that because of the short pass, they're kind of on a little bit of a shorter time frame as well. He drives that ball out to power. Blizzard meets him a little bit more in between the pin than he probably would have liked, but because of it, takes the whole outside blocker out of the play and goes hardwood right in the middle of the court. Pazbrizio passes it up. Pazbrizio passes it up. Romanchuk tries to get a kick on it as it squeaks through his hands and trickles past him, but a good job there by Siefker, taking out the trash, making something out of nothing. You know, I think he was pulled a little off the net. I don't think there was any chance he could have gone high or hard around it, but a nice high, hard swing into it, off the hands, and steals a point. Ooh. Out of bounds on that one, nipped the antenna. Romanchuk almost did the same thing twice, almost went off that tape and trickled back over. Not how he wants to do it, but you can win points that way. Unfortunately, that one hits the antenna and extends the Seawolves' lead to 4. Yep. Ooh, grind. A good try there by Fredrickson, who gets a nice piece on that ball as it comes over. Unfortunately, they aren't able to get a second piece on it. And Huseman's going to go back to serve again. This is a funny spin serve, honestly. It's got a lot more arc than you'd see a lot of spin serves. He doesn't hit it incredibly hard. As I say that, he hits the best one he's hit all day. Cam Willis. Cam Willis letting out a big old LFG. He's excited about it, and as he should be. Like I said earlier, I feel like the blockers for UNBSJ have been really, really impressive tonight in that they've made it look pretty consistent and almost expected that in those one-on-one block situations with the middles should be expected to get a piece of it or even block it. It's not nearly as expected as I think you'd think, and I think the blockers for UNBSJ, specifically Fields, Bartlett, and Willis, have been great today. Yeah, like that is more often than not what you expect to see. The other middle, doing his best to try and take away some space in the middle when he's blocking, but, the offensive middle in that case, basically just getting to swing straight away into the defense. Fize, unfortunately, puts that one into the net. I said it before, I think he's one of the stronger servers on this team when he's going. Unfortunately, when you're coming off the bench like he has been, you're a little colder, and it's a pretty high execution type of serve. And the more warm you are, the easier, the more it'll help. Melnick calling the boys up. Whoa. Melnick goes 450 yards over the fence there into the night sky. I think he was trying to send that one to power. I think from a coaching standpoint, if you have a power in that position who isn't facing the court, who doesn't have his body facing the court, and the setter is doing his best to try and close that gap and get to the ball, I think Melnick just needs to peel away and let his setter run the offense there. Now, to be said, to that point, you'd rather have more people calling for the ball than no one. You'd rather two people step in to make a play than looking at each other to see if the other one will. But unfortunately, Melnick gets to that one and just too strong hands. Sends that one not to the pin, but straight over the net and out of bounds to the other pin. Siefer now back to serve. Woo! Great play by Kearney Snelton, who sends that one back. Earlier we saw Melnick go up on one of those and just with two hands dump that back. And I give him his praises. I think it's sometimes better to be smart than it is to try and be explosive in those situations. That being said, if it makes sense and you have the opportunity, a big swing like that from Kearney Snelton is an electric play. I'm actually surprised that Kearney Snelton is in the game. I was expecting to see Gauthier giving his sub back in when they got to the front court. But as it stands, Kearney Snelton's going to stay out there. And a really nice swing, or I shouldn't say swing, a really nice first hit to send it back. Nice swing there off the hands for, I believe it was Blizzard. And a nice set from Juvenon. What a block. Juvenon fired up. Went back to his team and hit them with the wedge you'd expect. Real nice block from him. A real nice block from him to bring the game to within 6. Really nice push from Siefer. They're going to go outside to Gauthier, who pretty much automatic drops the bomb down the line. It was like that. I can't even tell you how hilariously casual that was. That would have been one of the better hits from a lot of players all game so far this game. And, Gauthier just stepped in and just meandered his way down to a huge hit down the line. Tucker now to serve, giving Willis a spell, which is funny because Willis had missed a couple in a row, but he made his last one. So I feel slightly inconsistent with the decision-making on the serving subs. A nice tip there by the Tommies. He's going to find some hardwood, take that point back. So the lead's still 6 for your Seawolves. They've been in this position before. The set they won, they were up like this, and they kind of let the Tommies back, especially going into the 5th where momentum is huge. I always don't need to say it. Set 6 point. But heading into this 5th set where momentum is huge, I think the Seawolves would probably be smart to try and get this one over quick and not let the Tommies scratch back any momentum as they head into the 5th. Middle. Ooh. Not exactly what Melnick wanted. That's a classic where the middle and the power are jumping so soon after each other that if you want to block the middle, you're almost guaranteed to have an unblocked power. And with how close in it was there, Melnick had all the court in the world to try and go, and send that one to Pound Town. Unfortunately, he hits it off the tape, and it does kind of that little ugly trickle over the net. It's definitely not what he wanted, but, like astronaut food, it doesn't look great, but it works. Juvenon now to serve. Pass probably going to go back, yep. No, come on. It's just absurdity. That had no business being a winner. At the very least, let the rally go on. Let that get dug up. Everything that Gauthier is touching right now is turning to gold. Got a little bit of the King Midas effect. So Seawolves now at 24, just going to steal themselves 1 point to take this to the 5th. What a block. I got asked before the game up here in the booth, and I got asked, how I think the game is going to go. And I said, I think from a record or expectation point of view that maybe the Seawolves would have been the favorite. That's a double. That's a hilarious. The Seawolves would have been the favorite, but these two teams always play each other close. And by the same merit, I think historically, and if you look at it over the last 10, 15 years, I don't think anyone would argue that the Tommies have probably got a little bit better, got the better of this matchup more often than not. So even when you are up or you're, maybe the favored team or you beat them the last time you played them, you can never really count this Tommies team out against UNBSJ. So credit to UNBSJ going down 2-1 to come back and force this Game 5. The last time these two teams played, it went to Game 5. There's never really a dull moment between the Tommies and the Seawolves. I don't think there's any maybe I'm biased. I played in this, but I don't think that there's any confusion. I think this is probably the best, little rivalry within the ACAA. I definitely know that none of these teams like each other. There's only 5 teams in it, and there was only 4 for a really, really long time. But, these two teams are 45 minutes down the road. Everybody that's playing on STU or UNBSJ would have probably got an offer to, have their opportunity to play at the other school as well. So there's that, and the only 2 teams in the conference that are from New Brunswick. There's definitely a little bit of a special connection between the two, and it's fun to be able to be here on a Saturday night in a Game 5. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So we got Game 5. For those of you that don't know, Game 5 is a game to 15 as opposed to 25. It is the last game of the set. Whoever wins this is going to win 3-2. And the first team to 8 points is going to initiate a switching of the sides from both teams. Now, if you've never played volleyball before, there's something really special about that 8-point swing. When you're in Game 5, you want to be the team to get to that 8-point first. It is a huge momentum swing. And there's no doubt that both of these teams are thinking to themselves, it's a bit of a race to that 8. Once you get to 8, you switch sides. You don't take any break. There's no timeout. You're right back onto the court. But, if you believe that maybe for whatever reason, call it wind flow, call it dust, call it superstition, they allow for both teams to play on each side here in the Game 5 to try and make it as equal as possible. All right, now, lineup-wise, no changes. What we saw last set, we're seeing again. We got Juvenin back to serve. Juvenin's had a great game. We're kicking off an exciting Game 5. I'm excited. I think this is, it is just a regular season game, but there's some good energy in the gym here. Both these teams want this. Wow. Wow, what a touch by Siefker. Oh, you could call a double on that. Great block. Long. Oh, my goodness. Brewster looking for a touch call. I don't even know. I don't know if any of the people on the other team could have touched that if they tried. Brewster gets up, and he hit that one pretty much at the apex of what I would say his jump was, and it was kind of a straight line out the back. So McClellan now back to serve after a really great first rally. Melnick with a good push. Oh, man, that's Brewster fired up about it. Brewster got, actually I should say this, Brewster got the bench last game. Last game, Brewster didn't play. Kevin Douglas was in the game for middle. So Brewster back into the game now, has that first hit go out of bounds, and then shows some real emotion there after that big one. Good job. Ooh, that's a tough one. It's a really tough set there because Huseman's lefty. If he was on the right side, that's a money set. But on the left side, he has to let that ball come across his whole body, and it's almost at that point just a little roll shot. Unfortunately, that one goes out the back. Nice pass by Brizio. Yeah, the doubler. McClellan with a really, really uncharacteristic double touch there. It was a good pass, and I think everybody in the gym expected that to be that little back pop set and let Gauthier go and take you back to the service line. Instead, we get the double touch. And now it's a 3-1 lead for the Tommies. Wow! Good job by McClellan to not only stay off the net, the body control, but to also feed Bartlett a really good set. And then credit to Bartlett. It's that the Shaquille O'Neal meme. I wasn't familiar with your game. He goes up and in the air turns his shoulders to cut that back to the open side of the court. Get the winner inside out for the Seawolves. Damn, man. Brewster is flying. I shouldn't say damn, I apologize. But, as soon as that ball left Juvenin's hands and you saw where Brewster was in the air, you were like, oh, this is trouble. You know, maybe it could be that he's a little bit harder to get into his wheelhouse, or for whatever reason they, wanted to give him a spell on the bench. But when Brewster's playing good, man, he can be a great player. Siefker squeezes it through. I feel like that's been a lot of what Siefker's done today. Hey, Crandall is in New Brunswick. Oh, you know what? You're right. And actually, I apologize. Crandall joined the league this year, and for a long time, I wasn't really, it was only those 4 teams, and there was that special connection between UNBSJ and Fredericton. But no, we're right. We got a comment here from Colby saying, Crandall, who's in the league now, this is their first year, is also from New Brunswick, which is true. All right, so we do the front court, back court switch. I have my we didn't have it. We actually didn't. No, what we did is Roman Chuck's coming out of the game so Fizet can go and serve for him and play defense. That's the serve we kind of expect to see from him. Huseman rolls it over. They're going to go back outside to Melnick. Oh, McClellan with an effort on the dig, but it's going to squeak by his guys, and a great tip by Melnick to take the point. Melnick all smiles out there. Fizet had a couple of missed serves to start the game when he was coming in for those front court, back court switches with the setter. But that one was really good and kind of more characteristic of him, I would say. Another one, but handled well by Siefker. They're going to go back to him here. Siefker just tries to push it through. Nice handling by Gauthier. Yeah, that's the play right there. Nice pass by Blizzard, but a push. Wow! Block party. A point the Seawolves needed. The difference between 7-3 and 4-6, especially in the fifth, when 7-3 is basically halfway to the end of the game. Can't be stated how huge that block is. The Seawolves keep it within 2, and Huseman now back to serve. At the net, we got Trach and, oh my goodness. Willis just pops it back. Probably going to go power here. Yep. Bomb squad. Siefker taking a moment to breathe it all in. He does this a lot. It's a celebration I've never seen in volleyball. To basically forego the step forward with your boys and just take a moment to, breathe it all in. But I tell you what, he's a spark plug. He obviously loves it. It gets the guys going. And if you're playing good, man, do what it takes to keep yourself up. As it stands, Henry Mallet going to call themselves a timeout there. Take a breath. I think the momentum was going a little bit UNBSJ's way. They had that big block and then a big swing from Siefker. So Coach Henry Mallet just going to take a second to let his boys breathe. And if you're head coach Dino Karatsios, I can tell you what I would be saying if I was a coach. I would just probably be saying, boys, this is about as fun as it gets. You're playing good out there. Make sure you know your matchups at the net. If we get a good pass, Liam, the setter, I want to make sure that you know who you want to go to. But just keep it up. Keep playing with some energy. This is Game 5, 1-point game. St. Thomas, UNBSJ. Doesn't really get much better than this. If you're the Tommies, this is where ACAA's is going to be this year. You got to make sure that you know you can come in and win in this gym. Huseman back to serve. Nice serve, but passed well by Winter. Hilarious. Blizzard. Dug up. It's up. Wow! That's just... It's unfortunate because Juvenin sees it, and he almost is calling out no touch, which doesn't really make sense. I think that's slightly a bit of a mental gap for him. If it's dropping on his side of the court, there's almost no reason why you'd ever let it land. Funny one there. I don't think his toss was great, but Huseman makes something out of it. Oh, my goodness! They're running that, really quick middle power on the outside right now. What you would expect to see is you expect to see the middle right on the hip of the setter and then a little bit more of a high ball to the power on the outside. And what they're running right now on a first tempo is Melnick disappointed with himself after that one. What they're running there in that first tempo is a really, really quick power set right behind the middle, and UNBSJ is eating it up. They're doing it. They did it again. Now, I will say they did it again, and I think UNBSJ was ready, but they go to the middle that time as opposed to the power, and where the block was probably set really good for that cross-court shot from the power, that cross-court shot from the middle ends up being a winner. So 7-7 in the race to 8. A great pass by Paz Brizio. It's up! They're live. Paz Brizio again with a great pass. Siefker, man. I said it earlier, like, Gauthier and Siefker, both rookies, both kind of that archetype of guy where when there's a good pass and, you know, maybe he's got a blocker slow or for whatever reason, it's not a perfect setup by the defense, you have that feeling where you're like, this guy's going to win it. And we've seen it from Gauthier all game, and I made the comments that I think we see it from Siefker a lot too, and down the stretch, he has been so valuable in this fifth. He's done the funny hit it off the tape 5 or 6 times, which I've said I think happens because you're trying to bake the cookies a little bit too long. You're trying to really tee off on the ball. But sometimes better to be lucky than good. And Siefker has had, 4 or 5 winners out of that out of that left side position to start this fifth. And a big one from him, probably the biggest of the game, to take the switch 8-7. Last time these two teams played, this is how the game ended, with Siefker serving in that back left corner. We'll see if history can repeat itself. Melnick still visibly disappointed with himself. Into the game came Hamilton after he got blocked by McClellan. That's a great serve. Great call by the ref. It was close. Oh, they called touch. Okay, they called touch. I thought she was calling it. Sorry, I apologize. I didn't say she. That's not something the cat dragged in. I thought Sherry Campbell was calling that in, but she saw a touch at the net. Siefker with a good push, going to give Gauthier a chance. Great push by the Tommies. I mean, it's been so hard for them to stop Gauthier all game, and they get a good block. But credit to the Seawolves, man, doing the hapless stuff. They get a great pass off the block. They have those, the rest of the team in there playing defense. McClellan has a funny little has to jump off the net, but does a great job to keep his body clean and get a ball back out to Gauthier. And the Tommies can't stop him twice. Second one, clean as a whistle. Hardwood. 9-8 Seawolves. Nice serve from Tucker. Oh! Hamilton got himself doing a 360 just to catch that one. What is this, no scopes? Tucker probably got lucky. I'm not going to lie. That was one of those serves that looked good the whole way, and at the last second, he went, ooh, this is sailing. I'm not sure that Hamilton wanted to play it the way that he did, but as it stands, it comes off that block, touches the roof, and now the Seawolves. A 2-point lead here in the fifth. That's a great push. Popped up by Huseman. Oh, Gauthier tries to get a swing on that one. It's not an easy ball. If he was able to get a high hard swing on that over into the court, I was gonna try and do my best to convey how difficult that can be as an outside swinger, going and attacking a ball that's nowhere near where it's supposed to be from a 30-foot set from the other side of the court. And to some extent, Gauthier shows you just how hard it is, and gets a little bit of a miss hit and puts that one in the tape. And a miss hit again from Gauthier, who, to his credit, comes in all smiles. I don't think that he's disheartened by it. He's been playing good enough, and I think that's a good, not omen, but a good sign for that Seawolf side. I don't think that the gravity is hitting them too much here. I think that, they're just in the moment playing good volleyball. Juvenin now to serve, though. Oof, you could read the label on that ball. Good job. And a good use. Wow! What a rep! What a rep! So much good from the Tommies there as the Seawolves take a timeout. There's, give or take, there's 10 points left in this game. 1-point lead late here from the Tommies. I think that's probably their first lead of the fifth. But back to that last rep. A really nice swing from Gauthier on a little bit of an off-tempo ball, but takes that high, hard, roll shot to that middle back. They get a great dig on the Tommy side, and then Juvenin running in with those smooth hands, firing it back to Romanchuk. And I honestly thought when he said it that it was going to be a little bit too far off the net to get into his wheelhouse. But Romanchuk, that benefit of being tall, he just met it so quickly and got an awesome swing through the block to take that point in the first lead of the fifth. So, Juvenin now back to serve. Pazbrizio pops her up, just going to bump it. Oh, and Romanchuk deleted. Romanchuk fired up about that one. Only so many times they've stopped Gauthier so far this game, but that one coming in a huge moment. That's a crazy choice. Wow, but Gauthier gets him back! Come on! That back set to Huseman, I mean, they almost just had to roll it over. Gets a great set to Romanchuk. I thought that was going to be some sweet chin music, but a great block. A great block by Gauthier. Oh, Romanchuk feeling himself. Pazbrizio is there. I think he's disappointed. I think there's a part of him that thinks he probably could have got that. That was one of those funny, like, knuckleball change-ups. I don't think that Romanchuk would tell you he hit it exactly how he wanted to, but still finds that part of the court that the other team can't defend. And oh my goodness, what a serve. It's a good push. Not easy. Setter's out. Good job by the libero stepping in. Romanchuk just going to roll it. Wow, that's not easy. Good job to get that shot over. And the dunk. Brewster fired up about it. It's funny, I don't think there's any ref that would call that, a lift, but it's one of those funny, like, gray areas. It's in front of him and down, so he's not really carrying it, but that was definitely closer to a throw than a spike there by Brewster. But to his credit, that's just a volleyball play. It's similar to what we saw earlier from Melnick when he used those two hands to kind of just redirect that ball back down. Oof. Tommies with their foot on the gas here. 14-11. We've got to see something here from the Seawolves. All right, Blizzard back to serve with a chance to beat his former team. Great serve. Oh, interesting. It's a good pass from the Tommies. They were going to have a chance to run their offense there for the win, but a net violation. Gauthier coming out of the game. Into the game comes Kearney Staunton. Kearney Staunton. They did this in the last set. I think that they definitely like what they have in Kearney Staunton as a server and as a defender, so going to give Gauthier a spell on the bench. Kearney Staunton has a lovely spin serve, receiving Blizzard, Frederickson, and Hamilton. Ooh, that's a bad touch, but handled by the Seawolves. Roof. Hardwood. Ha! Romanchuk fired up, and Romanchuk in the middle of the celebration circle, and he deserves to be. He had himself an amazing game. To some extent, he did the last time they came here and they weren't able to get the job done. Great job by the Tommies to finish it out. I would honestly say, too, not to read into it too much, but it certainly looked to me like Romanchuk was doing the celebration that we were saying, or that I was saying, we've been seeing from Siefker all year. I don't know if maybe it's a popular thing amongst all of them, but it feels like that was maybe a little directed. And hell, I hope the Seawolves see that, and it just adds any more gravity to this rivalry the next time these two teams play. There was a bunch of sponsors and some other stuff that I was supposed to read to you, but I won't. But we appreciate you. We appreciate you. The Tommies take this one 3-2 as the Seawolves go down and bring the series to 1-1 the last 2 times the teams have played here. My name's been Luke O'Grady. Thank you for listening. We're back tomorrow with the men's and the women's volleyball team, so tune back in for that. I appreciate you listening, and you got a good football game coming up here. I'd love to see the Chiefs do it. The NFL's more fun with Mahomes in it. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. We'll chat tomorrow.